Okay. Hi, everyone. So it is a super hot day today for Drop and Tap. So we are going to do some really chill songs. We're doing some Jen Hodge songs. We're doing two of them. Smoke Rings and Rock Bottom. And we're going to do a little bit of Eddie Brown-esque activities. I'm going to do sort of like simpler versions of the steps, and then I'll probably do some slightly harder versions over the course of the song. If it's too hard to do, then just keep doing the simpler one. Don't do the harder one. It's not worth it. And if you lose where you are, just go back to doing your heels. We're going to start with just doing our heels every beat. And always go back to that. Always just go back to bouncing if you fall off. And then you can just pop back in. I'm going to stop between each song to answer any questions. So if there's any breakdown of technique you want to have, we can do that then. And I'd say we should probably get started. So for the first song, I actually just want us to bounce. I just want us to stand there and bounce. And we're probably going to do some heels to the beat, and that's all we're going to do for the first song. We're not going to push it. We're just going to get warm. We're going to get used to just listening to some music. So let's get this thing playing. Okay, so I wanted to start with us listening to the music first, so that we get really, really used to it. We can really sink into the beat. We can really get into the groove. We're only going to do 2 songs today, and which we're going to repeat and do different things to those songs. But what we did for this first song is what you should always return to. So if something gets too complex or whatever, return to that bouncing, find the beat, find the groove, then jump back into what we're doing. That should really help. Does anyone have any questions about what we just did? Feel free to jump in. No, looks like we're all set. Okay. Well, let's do it again. This time we're gonna do a few more stuff with our heels. Eddie Brown, he I'll tell you a little bit about him first real quick. He is known as Bill Robinson's shadow. So he, when he was a teenager, he was recruited to perform behind Bill Robinson as his shadow. And he did so for 6 years as part of the Bill Robinson Review, which was a vaudeville show. And later on, he became a well-known rhythm tapper. And he became very well known for his really amazing use of rhythm, which he called scientific rhythm. And he came up with a BS chorus, and I've written a paper on it. So that's pretty much what I'm working on all the time. So we're going to spend some time working on some of the things based out of Eddie Brown's style. And it's quite a lot of fun to study a particular tap dancer's style and gain some cool things from it. And it teaches you a lot about your own style and what kind of things you want to put in. So Eddie Brown does a lot of like repeated heels. So we're going to do quite a lot of weird repeating heel patterns. And he also has a lot of little motives, these little nuggets that he repeats in a bunch of different places. So we're going to do some of his little nuggets today that are just going to be kind of thrown in there in the song. And we're going to mess around with them. And hopefully through doing these little nuggets, you'll have a bit of Eddie Brown experience. So, okay, we're going to do the same song again. And we're going to start exploring some of these little nuggets. Okay, how did that go for everyone? Does anyone have any questions? You're also welcome to chat. Put stuff in the chat if you're not comfortable talking. That is totally up to you. Okay, looks like everybody is okay. If you want me to break down anything, just let me know, and I can do that. Oh, can you show the last one? Okay, yep. So the last step I did, I don't know if you noticed, but the hardest versions of the steps are going to have something called a third in it, which looks like this. So kind of similar to a shuffle. You keep your foot really relaxed, and you're doing toe, heel, toe. So, and you're letting it. It's kind of it's bouncing off of the floor. Now the sort of simplified version, I was just doing a shuffle, and the rhythm was going. And then the version of it with the third actually comes in a little bit later because it's on the beat rather than before the beat, and it's. It's shuffle, toe, heel, stomp. Yeah, that's good. One of the other things we were doing is we were doing heels. Dividing our beat into 3, which is a big thing that he does. And we were doing a lot of and that is derived from an Eddie Brown step, which has a closed third on it, similar to the one here, except that you're actually pushing your foot into the ground as you do it. Any other questions? We're going to be doing those some more, kind of like worked in there. Oh, and then there's also this step, which I don't know if you caught. It's very similar to your paddles. But it starts with the drag. And that is also from Eddie Brown, of course. And that is just as it is. Actually, the very beginning of his Vias chorus is. So you have basically this paddle step, and he's moving it around rhythmically on different parts of the beat. Cool. So let's move on to a different song, and we might come back to that song. This one's slightly faster. So the one we just did was Smoke Rings by Jen Hodge. And the next one we're going to do is Rock Bottom. about that, guys. I had a few moments. I've never done these combinations just randomly dancing them. I've only ever done them like within the context of the routine. So this has been a fun experience to me too. Do you guys have any questions? Do you want me to review that new step that I put in there? Because we can definitely go over that. I'm gonna go over it anyway, even though you guys are not saying anything back. That'd be great. Awesome. All right. So let's go over, oops, I got another. What do we have? Right before the toe tap, are you stepping flat foot? Thanks. Okay, so right before the toe tap, so that, oops, sorry, I need to put this down again so you can actually see me. I think this is the one that we were talking about. This step starts off with a heel, and you just go, so heel click, and there's actually a little scoot. And I think that probably threw me off the most in the step when I learned this than anything else, is getting that scoot timing right, because you actually need to pull for the scoot earlier than the scoot actually happens, if that makes sense. You have to sort of anticipate it. So, and then it's shuffle, toe, heel. So, so you go down into a toe heel before you do the click, and then the slide. So I'll do that again, but very slowly. The Eddie Brown step, as it originally is actually like this. And where that actually sits on the beat is debatable because he liked it two different ways. So I'm doing it one of the ways because the other way I'm less good at. Okay, is there another one? Was that the step that you were talking about, Natasha? Yes, okay, cool. I'm trying to think of if there's anything else that was new in there that I threw at you guys. I'm pretty sure it was the same, some of the same steps, but I did them a bit faster. Oh, we were doing alternating with the, again, but that we have already gone over. Let's go back to the slower song. And let's do some more things. Unless you guys have any additional questions. Oh, you seem good. Nope, none from you. Okay. So we'll just keep going on this hot day. And I'm trying to keep everything kind of slow so that we're not like dying from the heat, because I'm dying from the heat. And I'm in Boston. I'm not even in Montreal, which is like way, way hotter. Okay, let's do this thing. Okay, so we did just a little bit of a press cramp roll. I'm for sure know that you probably want me to break it down. So you start actually with the heel that you're on. And you actually just kind of drop this foot, toe, heel, and you lift it again. So, and it's actually kind of springing off the ground. This is very much in almost everything that he does. A lot of times he's doing it quite a lot faster, but I slowed it down for you guys so that you can kind of get an idea of the technique and you can start to kind of mess with it. It's also quite a lot of fun to play with. So you actually want your weight to be over here. Yeah, he does it in a variety of different rhythms. He does it very fast. So he does like, and actually there's even a point where he does like repeated heels and triplets, like what we were doing, and he'll do like, or within a particular pattern. When you're messing around tapping on your own, that's sort of a fun little combination you can mess with. It doesn't have to be really fast. It doesn't have to be this crazy thing. You could do some cool rhythms with it, just like Eddie did. And use that as inspiration for tapping on your own. Do you guys have any other questions, comments? We've got about 15 minutes left. Is there anything particular you want to focus on within this last 15 minutes? Do you want to have a discussion? Do you want to just keep doing more of this? I tried to make the session like really chill. We're not doing anything super crazy. More dancing. Okay, sure. Do you want faster song or the slower song? I've been super into the slower song today. I don't know if you noticed it. Yes, we will keep doing basically the same steps that we did through this whole thing, and we'll just be circling through them. You'll watch me stumble through the transitions because I'm like randomly deciding to do a step way last minute and missing the pickup for it. But that is, we're all here and we're all learning together, so that is the fun part. I'll do the slower song because we've been mainly just doing that song. I think we did the faster song only like once. So let's do the slower song because we're more into it. How about slower? That sounds good. Let's do the slower then. I'm feeling it. You're feeling it. So we will stick with the slower song. The slower song is Smoke Rings by Jen Hodge, in case you didn't know. Yeah, let's do this thing. All right. Okay. I see something in the chat. Right? I don't know. I like was listening through songs. I was trying to find some stuff to listen today, and this song in particular, I was like, I need this. I need this sleepy, slow song. I cannot do a faster song. I can't do anything too crazy. I need it to be super chill, and we're just gonna tap some things. That seems to be everyone I've talked to today seems to be on that same page. So I thought it was a pretty fair shout to do for a class. We have 10 more minutes. So I was just going to keep doing what I'm doing. Yeah. Before we do that, before we jump into doing more tappy things to our song, unless you have any other questions before we get there, let's have a small intermission about Eddie Brown. So another fun, cool thing about Eddie Brown is that he did a lot of like walking on his shoes. So he did stuff that was like, so he would do something, we're going to do a little pattern, which is, sorry. So he does these little like stompies. We did a few of them. It was very common for him to do that. There's a lot of phrases where he had that, where he had like, and he just literally, both of his feet, or both of his taps right down onto the floor, and he just sort of tapped them down. And it's something that I find quite unusual. I haven't seen that in a lot of different styles. But in his style, it's something that's very particular to it. And I find it, sometimes I feel like a little kid, you know, and like you see little kids in tap shoes, a lot of times they do that. They do these little stomps with their feet. And he just like literally has it in the middle of a routine that's like really rhythmic heavy and like complex, and you're just doing like, I absolutely love it. I think it's wonderful. Yeah, let's, I'm actually gonna break this one down first, and then maybe we'll work it in with the song towards the end here, just to mix things up a little bit. Maybe we should do Drag Nasty first. So first we're going to do a step that he calls Drag Nasty. And it's, wait, hold on, I need to do it at speed to get it. This one kind of makes me think of Michael Jackson. Just because he had a lot of like, like he'd have a rhythm guitar that in some of his songs and then beat it or something that has a very similar rhythm, and that's all I think of. But it's you're just going with eighth notes, and you're going. I'll show it again. So it's just toe, heel, heel, within that particular rhythm. And there's a step back in the middle of it. And then another one that he does at another point, which is kind of a variation on that, he does, hold on. Okay, so it goes, so, so you don't have to get that whole thing, but they are fun, and they're cool little rhythms. And I am going to work them in with the song, and hopefully repeat them a few times. in there. So mess around with them. And even if you don't get them perfectly, as long as you're trying and as long as you have an idea of that rhythm and you are messing around with it, I count that a win. Honestly, if you're standing there and singing these rhythms, I'd count that as a win. Any way that you're internalizing them, whether you're moving or not, is really, really important for tap. So even if you're singing it and you're not quite getting it, that is good too. So I'm going to stick the music right on and we're going to dance it. And if we need to break it down again, we will. did that go? We are right at 7 o'clock. Do we have any last minute questions or thoughts before we end this thing? Make sure to stretch, by the way, after this. Give those legs, give those little leggies a little stretch. You know they want them, especially those calves. I know. But when you do it, you'll feel a lot better. So I highly suggest you do a little bit of stretching out after this thing, if you can. Do we have any last minute thoughts or questions?
Maybe stop recording so we can talk in secret.
Yeah, so we're gonna stop recording. I think that's a fair shout. Thanks for those who are watching, not on Zoom. See you guys around.